started in teaching by being involved with my husband's family. They were in education, and it was a calling for me. I love to teach children. That is my passion. That's what I love to do. I know that because I have that passion and that interest, that I can reach them. My initial goal was to be a classroom teacher, but I also had this calling to be a librarian, and I kind of put it on the side for a while, but it kept calling and I kept coming back to it, and eventually I pursued that. I had to be a classroom teacher before I could be a librarian, and so pursuing both passions allowed me to be here where I am today, and so blessed to do what I do. My favorite app personally is Facebook, because it allows me to connect with people and to see what's going on in their lives, but also to share what's going on in mine. I connect with people. It's just what I do, and that's a vehicle to do that. It's a medium to do that. I use computers, obviously. I use my Promethean board as well. I use iPads. I have some iPad minis that I acquired recently from a grant that I wrote, Learning by Osmosis, and the kids get to use those as well. They get to utilize that technology as well. And then to extend that, to use those tools, I explore databases, I explore archives, I use YouTube, because there's nothing like seeing the real thing when you're talking about a moment in history. Just see it there in living color, or not, but just see it there in motion, bringing it to life. That's what it's all about. So we use different technologies in here, absolutely. I even had to use my cell phone recently because we wrote a grant for STEM, and it has all kinds of components in it, including robots. And we didn't have the iPads yet, so my cell phone, my smartphone, became technology that I used in the library because it had the right version of Bluetooth. And where there's a will, there's a way. And the children, they dealt with it. We passed it around, and it was all good. Technology brings so many advantages to me as a librarian because it allows me to deliver that content. It allows me to deliver that information, that knowledge that I would not be able to otherwise. In my own time, when I was their age, I didn't have that kind of advantage. My teachers didn't have that kind of advantage, but I do now. And that is how my children speak. It's their language. Using technology is what they're all about. They're the digital natives. And here I am, a digital immigrant, but you know what? It's a way to reach them and teach them. It's the means to that end. It allows me to communicate with them and to get that across, that message across. The very first thing that I start with has to be the content. It has to be the objectives. What is it that I'm trying to get across to them? What is it that I want them to come away with? I have to have that in mind. Once I know that, once I determine this is my target, then how do I make that come to life? How do I get that message across to them? I find the appropriate technology to do so once I've decided on that first point. It has to be the content before the technology. Always, always, always.